Coaches normally sit on the sidelines, but for the second week in a row, Jonathan Coachman was sitting on the front lines, on the commentary desk. It may be no way out on Sunday, but tonight there was no way out for Jim Ross as he had to go from doing commentary to wrestling in the squared circle. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Wrestling. And as Eric Bischoff would say, I'm back. And tonight he was back in the ring, kicking JR's redneck ass.
Stone Cold, get some barbecue sauce on the Sean Morley. I'm Bondrone.
I think JR will need a lot of barbecue sauce to make him feel better after this beatdown. He was leaking the ketchup, as they say, coming out of his forehead. Well,
He was. Right, I seen this meme and it made me think of JR. Well, this guy caught a fish and he got a big tub of barbecue sauce, opened the fish's mouth and just poured the entire bottle into it. Is that something JR would do?
It's a bit sick. Did he kill the fish first?
I don't know. No, it was alive. It was gurgitating it up. Anyway, JR will be gurgitating later on in tonight's show with a bit of cinder block in his mouth.
I wish you hadn't brought that up. That's actually made me upset now.
Yeah, because you know what? Barbecue sauce is strong. Any form of sauce, I think doing a whole bottle of sauce would imagine it was hot sauce.
I'm not saying you can't be eating fish. But I think if you're going to do something like that, just fucking put the fish out of its misery.
No, I agree, but I mean the whole gimmick is do it while it's alive. Will JR do it to Shark Boy on TNA? Good old Ross Jim. Good young, bad young Ross Jim.
I think Ross Jim crossed the line. But anyway, enough about fish. Let's move into it. This show didn't smell of fish, not at all. It was a good show. We kick off with Rob Van Dam, with Kane taking on Lance Storm with William Regal. No 5-minute entrances for each guy. Bang, bang, down to the ring. Here we go. Match, lock up, boom, boom. And Kane and RVD will get tag team title shots at No Way Out because RVD was victorious. Boom, boom, boom. No Way Out looking like a decent card so far.
Looking like a decent card so far. It's a decent match to kick off the show. It's what I like to see. Backstage, got another tag team in the making. Jeff Hardy, Shawn Michaels. Don't know really where it's came from.
The New Rockers.
Ex-junkie, current junkie. Let's throw them together.
Yeah, well, people do say that Jeff Hardy reminds them of a young Shawn Michaels.
It's mad though to think at this stage like Shawn Michaels is like almost like the recruiting type. He's on the verge of another retirement. It's mad. Wrestling's weird.
He's the old guy. He looks around now. He sees these younger talents.
Bischoff, though, he's wished good luck because you're going to need it in his match with Stone Cold.
Bischoff had lost his smile here, to be honest.
He did.
Took one out of Shawn Michaels' book, but then he says to Michaels, Jeff Hardy, I think it might be you guys needing luck. So, yeah, what's Bischoff got planned up his sleeve? Well, he comes down. Chief Morley gets in fight it. He says that the Raw locker room, they're lucky to have EB as the GM, but they're not lucky to have the Dudleys because they've been suspended, so they're done. They're not going to be here tonight. Jeff Hardy and Shawn Michaels gets booked against Jericho and Christian, no DQ match, and then he says since Spike liked handicap 3-on-1 matches so much last week, Spike's going to get to BM1 tonight, but unfortunately he will be making up the 1 and not the 3.
Absolutely not. Then he talks about the fact he's got an 8-degree black belt and he says he's going to whip Stone Cold Steve Austin's ass at No Way Out. Then he says, Stone Cold, points to JR, tonight I'm going to kick your ass, Jim. And I tell you what, I think they did a good job of building up Bischoff, right? Because the past couple of weeks he's kind of been across as like, I mean, he's a typical authority figure, but I think the whole watermelon kicking, cinder block bashing, cinder bits of wood peeling, he did a good job.
That was later on in the night, but yep, sure, by all means, spoil the rest of the show, why not? We move on, backstage, Victoria, Steven Richards, Jazz. Steven Richards looks like he didn't want to be here, trying to convince Jazz and Victoria that they can be a tag team, but Jazz doesn't care. She came here to eliminate Trish Stratus and to be the most dominant diva in wrestling. Pretty strange that she never came here to be the champion, just came here to be the most dominant.
No, it does nothing for me, Jazz. Victoria and Stevie Richards, I would just prefer if they did their own thing. Jazz absolutely sucks.
Yeah, I don't like Jazz.
20 years before her time.
But Jazz suggests that Victoria won't be champion for long. We then get the Divas match, Molly Holly and Jacqueline versus Jazz and Victoria. Jazz wins. Jazz proclaims the bitch is back. And then Jazz and Victoria slap each other and they seem to get along. So here, who knows? Maybe we have a new tag team here in the making. They're getting an interview with Tori and Booker T. Booker says Goldust is recovering at home. He'll be back in a few weeks. He says that there's something wrong with him, but there was always something wrong with Goldie. Then Booker basically says he's going to get revenge on Evolution, one way or another.
Absolutely. Then Evolution appear, start making jokes. Triple H is like, you've got Booker in the cooker. Then Randy Orton suggests that Booker T is the most electrifying man in sports entertainment.
That would be Goldust.
Exactly. But Online World of Wrestling, they like pointing out botches. They botch all the time. Look at, imagine saying it's Booker T's the most electrifying. It was clearly Goldust. He's the guy who got fucking electrocuted. Why would they say Booker T?
Why would we care about what Online World of Wrestling say?
Why not? We've had on. We seem to take obsession with what they say every week.
Yeah, but this is just a typo.
Typo? Booker T is getting pushed to the moon. And Triple H is about to whip out the line, shouldn't you be getting my bags, brother?
Well, let's move on to the next segment. Tribute.
Bit depressing here. R.I.P. Mr. Perfect. Jerry Lawler seemed a bit teary-eyed. Jim Ross pretty much went, over to you, King, have a match tonight. And King had to cut like a 2-minute promo about Mr. Perfect. Sad, showing you all Mr. Perfect's moments, but it's like, you've got these moments where he's like throwing a towel with like his left hand and he catches it with his right, and like, anybody could do that. At least when he's making like a 50-yard basketball shot, not everyone can do that. Now, you can sigh all you want. I like Mr. Perfect, but I'm not going to pretend throwing a towel with your left hand to your right hand's the bee's knees.
Well, he can do that on his way to the ring, but he can't exactly fucking pull out a basketball hook, can he, and shoot a 50-yard shot? You doted bastard.
No, hold on. No. There was loads of vignettes the guy did.
Aye, but there was never a vignette where he just threw a towel. That was just part of the thing he did onto the ring. That was like,
See when you said
that was like The Rock lifting his eyebrow. The Rock can do that, but he can't. The Rock couldn't.
See when you said that he can do it on his way to the ring, I thought you were going to say he could do it on his way to hell or something. I was like, fucking relaxing.
Anyway, I like Mr. Perfect. It's a shame his son fucking sucks.
Michael McGillick. His real son was Dolph Ziggler.
You know what? You almost feel like they were trying to go down this route with Dolph Ziggler, but they just, I think that just shows you how much wrestling sucks, because a lot of people say that they were trying to push Dolph Ziggler as Mr. Perfect because Ziggler used to say he was like perfect and his whole song had perfection in it.
Perfection.
But it's like, you look at Dolph Ziggler and you look at Mr. Perfect, one was a star and the other one was just a guy that fucking did wrestling moves at the end of the day.
Yeah, no, that's what it is, but it's a shame. Around this period you lost a lot of wrestlers. Crash Holly, Mr. Perfect, Big Boss Man, to name a few.
That's all it takes. You want a guy to be perfect, just have a couple of vignettes. Show him doing things that other guys can't do. Dolph Ziggler's idea of being perfect was putting on great matches. He was putting on the same match as everyone else.
Yeah, he was.
How does that make Ziggler stand out as being perfect?
Talking of not so great.
But you know what I mean, Jim? Mr. Perfect wasn't. You didn't see Mr. Perfect throw a touchdown pass for 70 yards and then fucking Brutus Beefcake picked up the ball and went, I can do that as well, boom.
Fuck the 80 yards.
Dolph Ziggler goes out and puts on a 20-minute match and he says, I'm perfect, no one can follow me. Then the next match is another 20-minute match, the exact same match. It's like, what's so special about him? Nothing.
You're not down with the Brown, then you can leave. Up next, we got Teddy Long.
I just didn't get this. So Teddy Long, because D'Lo lost last week and he didn't like the fact D'Lo lost to... let's be honest, he lost to a black man. It's not like he lost to a white boy. D'Lo gets replaced by Rodney Mack. So what Teddy Long does is he replaces a black man with a guy that's not as black. And it's like, down with the Brown was such a good wee saying. Now he can't use that.
Yeah, like what can you even say with the Mac?
Are you ready for the attack of the Mac?
Return of the Mac? Big Mac?
I don't know.
Rodney's going to hit you with a Mac 9?
Why not bring in Rodney Mack and keep D'Lo Brown? Does that mean he's going to get rid of Rodney Mack next time he loses a match?
Hopefully, because he dropped Al Snow on his neck.
It wasn't the greatest debut for Rodney Mack. Some people say he's not black, but at the end of the day, who cares?
There's a lot of Reddit boards back in 2003 claiming his race was not black, so that's what it is.
I didn't even know Reddit existed that long ago.
It did.
But there you go. We then go backstage, got Chris Jericho and Christian. They're talking about their match for Jeff Hardy and Shawn Michaels. It wasn't great. It was Jericho and Christian really. They're not bad, but it didn't really blow me away. We got a tag team no DQ match then. Jericho and Christian versus Jeff Hardy and Shawn Michaels. Basically a handicap match. Shawn Michaels gets cuffed to the ring post, but then Jericho gets too close, eats a sweet chin music, and then Jeff Hardy defeats Jericho. Wasn't expecting that. And after the match, Chris Jericho's pissed that Jeff Hardy hasn't won a match in about 20 years, and he decides to win his first match against him, and he's going to celebrate a victory against him. Jericho's like, nah, that can't happen. Not on my watch.
So it's going to be those two colliding at No Way Out. I think, again, it just goes down the similar formula that I talked about earlier. I think everyone who came out on top tonight is simply just going to lose at No Way Out. But, yeah, it's good seeing Michaels back. It's good seeing Michaels back wrestling on free TV. It's been a while since that Van Damme match, just at the back end of 2002. So I welcome it. Up next, we had a throwaway match. It was Hurricane against Christopher Nowinski. This is weird. This feels like we're just giving Hurricane a win because his little mini feud with the Rock's around the corner. Match did nothing for me, and it was about 9-10 minutes long. Just he wins, and even King and JR were like, "What's going on here?" It just felt flat.
Yeah,
out of place.
It was flat. Didn't really do it for me. I mean, it is what it is. Just a strange match to have on the card.
Chief Morley backstage. He's wearing a big cowboy hat. He's going, Stone Cold, Stone Cold. Bischoff's doing all his mad moves backstage. Well, some of them at least, for he does a wee bit more out in the ring. But can he win tonight? He's got that black belt. We'll see what happens. Up next, handicap match. Spike Dudley against 3 Minute Warning and Rico. You couldn't pick a more perfect opponent to get battered in a 3-on-1 match. Ragdolled. Every move that Rosie and Jamal did, especially off the top rope, I'm surprised that Spike Dudley wasn't coughing up his ribcage.
Yeah, I mean, Spike Dudley really did take a battering tonight, especially the splash at the end. I mean, Spike Dudley, he's like, if you want to put a team over, he's a good guy to get dominated, but I just had enough of 3 Minute Warning.
No, I've had enough 3 Minute Warning. I think, come on, they've ran their course, man. I mean, they debuted doing dirty stuff for Bischoff, and now they're still doing it after like a couple of month hiatus of not doing it. Up next with Terry, backstage with Scott Steiner and Booker T. Booker T interrupts Scott Steiner's promo. Scott Steiner's promo didn't really make much sense. He talked about how he's the better man and he's going to beat Triple H and there's nothing Triple H can do. But then if you look what happened at the Rumble, it's like, well, he got disqualified and retained the belt, and it's not like at No Way Out there's a stipulation where that can't happen. So could he not just do that?
Yeah, I mean, surely there should have been something put in place here. No DQ, but then again, if you do that, that helps Triple H. Steel cage match or something.
It just shows you the aura and, you know, the star power of Austin, because I feel like ever since McMahon returned just before the Rumble, Austin has took centre stage on Raw
without even being there.
Yeah, like Steiner and Triple H have took a backward seat.
It's like, who cares about the Steiner Triple H stipulation? We've got Stone Cold on the show,
and he's not even there. Up next, we've got the tag match. Yeah, thought it was a fine match, but Booker T pins Triple H.
Yeah, with the scissors kick. I mean, yeah, Steiner took Triple H out first, but just wasn't really expecting that.
No, it was utterly bizarre. But again, I just think they're letting everyone who's not going to win at the pay-per-view win here. I get it. It's Booker T pinning Triple H, not Steiner, and it's probably a bit of long-term booking, knowing what's going to happen at Mania. But anyway, up next, we've got the main event. Bischoff against good old JR. We've got watermelons, we've got some cinder blocks, we've got pieces of wood. Bischoff's breaking them. Do you think it was gimmicky woods and cinder blocks, or do you think this was legit?
Absolutely, or else Austin might not come back.
Yeah.
If he's seen Bischoff doing this kind of damage for real, Austin might just keep his ball and stay home.
JR comes out. No holds barred. He says anyone and anything can get involved tonight. JR actually gets the upper hand, but then Morley starts battering JR. They get him bloody, cinder blocks, bang, good night. Out comes King. King doesn't really do much. JR gets up against the ropes. Bischoff then does like a commando chop to JR's stomach. While he did this, in the background, you just seen King fly face first into the ring post, which I thought was pretty funny. But it was a karate chop to the ribs of JR that got the pin. And then he gets a couple of beers, pours it over JR, and that was it. I honestly think this ending needed Austin to return.
How else do you want JR to get beat? Just out of curiosity, like.
Well, could the cinder block spot though? I just done it. I mean, it takes him like 10 minutes to stand up, and then it's a karate chop to the stomach. And, oh, come on. How do I want JR to get beat? I think a karate chop to the head might have worked more than the fucking stomach. What?
I mean, possibly. You got Jerry Lawler making the save after the cinder block spot. I get it, maybe Jerry Lawler thought that crossed the line, but why not attempt to make the save before that was done, you know?
Yeah, he obviously thought that Bischoff was going to do the cinder block spot. Yeah, I enjoyed it. It was chaotic, it was funny, but I think it could have been booked a bit better. And you had Austin appear last week after the show. Why not have him appear this week on the actual show? Anyway, that is it for your Raw Go Home show for No Way Out. Was it a good show? Yes. I'm going to give it a 7.
I'm giving it a 7 as well. Decent show, not great, but decent for sure. Looking forward to No Way Out.
Absolutely, guys, and I tell you what, if you could rate the match card promos, I'd give them a 10. Bring me to life, and we're going through all the matches. You've got Hollywood Hogan against The Rock. It's Hollywood Hogan versus The Rock. Good shit, isn't it? Black and white background. Austin.
I miss it.
Miss it. Some good. What happened to match cards, guys? Movable match cards. What happened? Anyway, till next time. Peace.